part of life. All that time we spent on it. All right. I think what I'll do first is just introduce everybody, and I'll hand you, I'd like to thank Swanson for the picture package that they always give us as a team picture and an individual. So if you kids see them, I would appreciate you saying something with the parents if you let them know that we do appreciate it as a costly thing, and it's a great thing for our kids. We also have a certificate of participation for the state football playoffs, which you'll get one of those. Juniors and seniors, I ran off a copy of the stats for the year, and I'll give that to you, and also the all-district team, and the other schools have it on there. I'll give that to them. If any of the freshmen, sophomore want that, you can come and get it from me. Most of the time I run it up for everybody, and then it ends up on the floor. So if you would like to have it, I will make you a copy. Just stop in the office someday, and we'll get you a copy of that. I'll go through and do the underclassmen. I'll just bring you up here by class. You can stand here until your whole class has been introduced, and then you can go sit down, then we'll go to the sophomores and the juniors, and then we'll finish up the seniors. I'd like the seniors to stay a little bit so I can say a couple things about it. All right, we'll start off with Paul Schleck, freshman class. Paul Schleck, Taylor Stockham, Craig Boyle, Ryan Miller, Derek Meanwire, Stephen Meyer, Justin Meyer, and Alex Dawson. And that was our freshman class. This is always the class that has the toughest time because they're the youngest, obviously, and they get to be on these, we call it the scout team. A lot of people call it the meat squad, but we try to call it the scout team because that's what they do. You guys did a nice job. Of course, we appreciate that. Thank you. Joe's the horse. I don't think Joe's here tonight. Nicholas Seeger. Ezra Schleck. Woo. Brett Tripp now. Jeff Brazell.
What? His arm around it.
Taylor Dahl.
Having problems again. What else is there?
Matt Beerbaum. And Andrew Krakemeyer. I don't think Andrew's in this. And Brian Zahort. Did I miss any something? These guys some of them got to fill the shoes of scout player, and then they'd be on offense, and we stick them back to defense. They kind of ran back and forth. Usually they're the ones that we held the most responsibility getting us ready for the next week, and they did a good job of doing that too. Thank you guys. It's awesome. Okay, and juniors. Ethan Muller. MJ Baca. John Wright. Jesse Frizzell. Rich Howe. And Casey Beck. You know, juniors, I was talking about them today. I sat down at the lunch table and talked to some of the girls, and they asked me, well, what kind of team do you have next year? I said, you know, I expect we have the same type of team we had this year. And I just said something about our juniors. I said, you know, if you really look at our juniors, there aren't very many, but they're all athletic. And, you know, I look here, and I could probably take 4 of these guys, take any 4 of these guys, and send them to state to 1,600 relay. I know I could. And we're going to try to do that this year. Anyway, I think, you know, that a good group of kids, good athletes, very hard workers, good leaders. I appreciate everything they did for us, and it's really an integral part of our team, and I appreciate all your hard work. Okay, seniors, just come up here, and I'm just going to say, today I sat down and I thought, you know, I need to write just a few things, and I thought, guys, I'll start balling because I'm going to miss having you guys around, so I didn't want to do that and embarrass everybody. So I thought, you know, I just wrote down a couple of words about each one of you, and I try to say this without, you know, being too Hitler-feel-ish. Greg Wegner. You know, I had to think of something about Greg, and when I came up with it, he made plays. I challenged Greg after last year. My son Russell was always telling Greg, you got to make the play. And if you know my son, that's all he tells the kids all the time. Make something happen, make a play. And I think Greg did that this year. He made a lot of plays, and that challenge, I think this happens from our whole senior group. We challenged him about being stronger. Mr. Dunfeld today said, walked around in the basketball court. He said they're stronger than they were last year. You can tell that, and that's what made a big difference. But that came because we had a group of kids that said they'd do it, and they did it. And like I said, Greg was one of those that just made plays when he had to. Greg, I appreciate it. Nate Scribner. I didn't recognize him. I thought that was one of the girls' basketball team with all that hair. When I think of Nate, you know, I think about being unselfish. You know, one time this year, Nate was supposed to run the ball, and he was tired, and he also knew that the other guy could run the play a lot better. We had a quick pitch call that was supposed to go to Nate, and he was tired. He said, MJ, you go run this, you're better at it than I am. And he let him run the ball, and yeah, Anthony made the block. But, you know, that's when I think of Nate, I think of that. He was very unselfish, did a great job for us, a great leader, had a lot of ability, but he made sure that his teammates were part of that success too, and we appreciate that. Josh Stallberg. You know, Josh, he's a success story. Josh, I think this year his attitude was so much different than last year. I thought he was a great team leader. He was always, of course, he was in my office, and I think he was just buttering up. I think he was just trying to get out of class. But I kept asking him how many study halls he was in because he seemed to be in the office a lot. But, you know, Josh had a great attitude, always wanted to know what we could do to be better, and he was my mole in West Point. Anything I wanted to know what was going on in West Point, I always knew from Josh. Ryan Russell. Oh, Ryan, when I think of him, I just thought of a great role player. You know, I think a lot of times that Ryan could do some of the things that Greg did. Greg just happened to be in the spot there when we needed him, but Ryan is the same type of player. Thanks, buddy. And he just was there when we needed him. Great leadership. he set a school record this year for interceptions. I told him if he kept his feet, he probably set an interception. He probably would have set the record for touchdowns this season too. But he did a great job of breaking on the football, and I think a lot of that comes from he was always on the weak side of our formation. I think they always thought they could throw back on it, and he showed them they couldn't. Again, I appreciate what he's done for us. Curtis Faulkner. Curtis. I can't say all the things about Curtis. I think of a lot of things, but the thing that always sticks out in my mind about Curtis, if you ask him to take his top 3 sports, I'm not sure football would have been in there before the start of this year. I don't know if football has been in his top 3 sports. I think baseball and basketball are heads above that. But Curtis, he's a competitor. And that's what I like about Curtis, is he's the kind of kid that didn't matter. It doesn't have to be your favorite sport. I say that all the time to kids. I don't care if it's your favorite sport. You got to be a competitor and play football. And Curtis is one of those kids. He was a competitor, and he complained every day about something. He still complains about something. But you know, that's just Curtis's way. Because when it came time to play, he did that. I had a lot of coaches from other teams said a lot of good things about Curtis. He just looked so much different this year than he did last year. I think the weight room helped do that too, so I appreciate it. Anthony. You know, Anthony and the people playing the offensive line, they always have a tough job. We tend to put them through some drills that they wish that the backs had to go through and do some of those things. And I can remember when Anthony was a sophomore, he complained about running board drills all the time. He was still complaining last year. This year, you could tell by the look on his face, he did not want to run them. But he never said that. He never said that. He was kind of like, yes, sir, man. He would do it. I know he didn't want to do those things, but he just had that, I think he had that attitude like, I know it's important, I'm going to do that, and so he did that, and I appreciate that too. Good man. No. You got a beard. That's the thing I hate in football. I don't make them cut their hair in their face because nobody sees that stuff. But after seeing this group, I may have to do that next year. You guys don't be starting a group. Ryan Mike. You know, Ryan, I'd say if I had to say something about him, he's a team player. You know, Ryan was always telling me, he'd come off, I'm telling him, Ryan, you didn't do this. He'd say, yes, sir, and he went out and he tried to find out what he was doing wrong. I think the thing I remember the most is Ryan told me at the end of the year, we ran a curl trap. He says, Coach, I got that linebacker. Been yelling at him all year about getting that guy. He got him, got 3 minutes. Had a big run. Had a great job. And I appreciate that too, Ryan. Don Brazil. You know, I spent 3 years trying to get Don to ask a question, to say something, act like he liked being there. Never said anything. This year, for the first time, Don, he started asking questions, and it made me feel good that he was unsatisfied with the way he was doing things. He'd say, Mr. Ivy, is this what you mean? Do you want me to do that? And I think if I had to say something to be unsatisfied, Don was unsatisfied with his performance, and he'd always ask me if he needed to do this too. And I appreciate that, and it was a lot of fun to see him get outside the pole and try to block somebody downfield. I think he liked doing that too, so I appreciate that. And Jordan Hogan. You know, I think of Jordan, I just think Willie. You know, Jordan he kind of got in a position that when Casey got hurt, Jordan stepped in and played for him. And then when Casey came back, you know, I really felt like I wanted to give him the shot to be back where he was. And so Jordan, on defense, moved down and played defensive tackle. And I didn't have to ask him twice. Jordan said, yeah, whatever he needs to do. And I appreciate that too. And I think that word willing is kind of what our whole football team is about. Is you guys are willing to do a lot of things to make it successful. And I appreciate that. And he's one of my best agents because the last period of the day, he checks up on me, make sure we got everything done. So I appreciate that too. All right, you give him a hand. I appreciate it. Student manager. We've got a couple guys that that were here for pictures, and I don't know if everybody's here, but we had Norman Seeger, and I don't think Norman's with us. Norman's a sophomore, helped us out. We also had Trey Silver, who is oh gosh, I forgot him. I saved him for last because I wanted him for seniors, and I forgot all about it. I'll come back to it. We'll just finish with you. That's what we'll finish with you. Just hold up. All right. Student managers, Trey Silver also helped us. I don't think it's Trey here. I don't think so. Trey did all of our filming for us and did a great job of doing that. We also had a couple of junior or sixth grade kids, Stephen Cleary and Kyle Boyle, that helped us, and they did a nice job too. Neil Jacobson. Neil's here, so that's why he come on up here. Neil's been helping us this year, third year? Yeah. Third year. He moved here from Omaha, I think, when he was a sophomore, is that right? And so he helped us things, but and did a great job. Every once in a while, I called him Inspector Gadget sometimes, because if there's something he fixed, he would find it for me and did a good job of doing that. But he was at every practice, and that's the thing I appreciate about him. So thank you for this. I had, as far as our school, we have classified Murillo as a sophomore. We classified him as a sophomore. He could be a junior, but with state assessments, we never put anybody in the junior class because they'd have to go back and take every one of those assessments. And I think then they'd be balling, which they never came here. So we kind of put him in the sophomore class, but I wanted it to seniors because this is last year here too. And, Murillo, when he first came, he got out here, and I remember bringing him to my office, and I asked him, I said, dude, are you interested in any sports or athletics or anything? And he said, well, he likes soccer. And, well, we don't play that here, but I said, we have football. Have you ever seen American football? And no, he didn't know anything about that. I said, well, a lot of players that play soccer tend to be pretty good field goal kickers, and I said, maybe somebody can come out and try that. So he came out one day, and I don't think we had anyone shoot it out or anything. He came out, and we put the ball down, and he was kicking a lot of balls and stuff, and they were going through it. I remember Coach Robinson said, Coach, they can try our kicker. And I said, first of all, it's one thing to kick the ball when nobody's rushing, but boy, when they all start coming running at you, it's a lot different. What you say, it's a lot different. You got to kick off and run down there. That part wasn't nice either. But I took the ball and I put it on the 33-yard line, and I said, kick the ball. He kicked it, went right through there, and I said, that would be a school record for this for a game. So we knew we had a kicker. We I thought we wanted to take it slow. I didn't think I wanted to stick somebody in a game that's never played and have people running all over. So we put him in there and kicked JB, did a great job for us. Did some really nice things there. And Anthony was doing a great job kicking, and that's the best part. Again, that's that willingness for somebody to give up something. Anthony was kicking, doing a great job. But he plays both ways. Boy, by the end of the game, he was getting tired. He was more than willing to say, let Murillo kick. And we started working the second half, and next thing you know, he's kicking all the time. I don't know, does anybody know how many extra points he had there? He was 32 out of 34 in extra points. That's pretty awesome. The worst part is Murillo is going home at Christmas. He'll be done here at school, and we won't have him here the whole year. And I tried to talk to him and stand, but he's a mama's boy, and Mom wants to come home pretty bad, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to keep him, but I did ask him if he could find some friends down there that want to come to the United States to go to school. As good or better than him, he's going to take him, so I appreciate it. Coaches McDuffie and Robinson, I'm not an easy person to coach with. Because I think I've done this long enough. I just know what needs to be done and all that type of thing. I do a lot of coaching on the run. They learn to do that too. And I'm telling them if they're going somewhere, don't forget this, don't forget that and that. Always willing to do that. Did a great job of helping me get ready for football games. Spent a lot of time watching film with me, and it's a lot of time. And football's hard about that. The thing about football makes it tough for coaches is all the equipment. You don't have near the equipment in any of the other sports, and you don't have to spend as much time. I coach basketball too, and you don't have to spend near as much time watch a basketball film as you do a football film because there are a lot of things to do. But I think they did a good job of gleaning things out of the film, seeing tendencies of other people, seeing some things that we can do offensively against them, defensively, those type of things. So it took a lot of time to do that. I can remember, getting 4 or 5 hours sometimes trying to get that done. And they were willing to be up there to help that. When the season starts getting longer and you get in the playoffs, it gets harder. It gets harder because you just look deeper because you know you're going to have more that week than you had the week before because it is a better team. And they were willing to do that, and I appreciate you guys and all your time. And you have been that. Thank you. I don't know who did this, so I had somebody come up to me and give me a gift certificate for Fred Ivy and assistant coaches to go down to the Scribner Steakhouse and eat. So I told them we have to do that sometime, and it's really a nice thing. And if you're in the room, thank you. They wanted to be anonymous, but if you're in here, thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes you guys don't forget me. My wife. Hi. Some of the things that everybody should have got a picture. I knew I forgot to run something. And one thing I wanted to give you kids, and it's not on there, and I'll give it to you. Beginning of the year, or last year, at this meeting, I said that I had some goals that I wanted for our football team. And I said, it was going to be 9 months from now that we were going to start something new. And that's going to happen again next year. And I said, what we do from here to the beginning of football is the most important part of this time. It's just like having a baby. You have to nurture that baby in the womb so that that thing is ready when it's time to start its life. And I think these kids did that. They got out and played basketball, they wrestled, they went out for track, golf, recreational sport there. But they got out and they did these things. And that was the chance to compete, and that's where that edge came from, was the competition that you guys did. And we sat down, we said we were going to do some certain things, and all of them reminded me. In fact, we all gave each other a standing ovation after we beat Stanton this year. And why did we do that, you guys? What did that game mean at that time? That made us, Scribner-Snyder, to be 500 in football. I couldn't believe that when I looked at it. I was really surprised. We were, before this year, we're 76 and 86 since 1987 in football. And I wanted, because I think these kids have done a great job of building the program. I've just been along for the ride. And these kids, especially these seniors, have been here 4 years. They were part of another group, and I talked to some kids that graduated. They were part of building this. I can remember the first year I coached. That team went 8-1. They were a great group of kids. They worked so hard, and they didn't get to go to the playoffs. But they started something here. They let the kids know that no matter what, we're going to play hard. I can remember sitting out there telling Scott Beck and Nathan Basco and that group, and I said, you guys can either complain that we're not going to playoffs and get beat and end up 7-2, or you can go out and win and leave Bergen home from the playoffs too and be 8-1. You choose what you want to do. Well, that was enough to light the fire in them to think Bergen was going to have to stay home. So it made a big deal. But they started something here. And that year, I think you guys were 8th graders, weren't you? They were 8th graders. And I remember looking at this group and I said, that's a group we can build a team around. And I knew after I saw our juniors, I knew we were going to have a good team. I knew that because we had 2 good classes back to back. And it takes at least 2 classes, if not 3. So I knew we could do this. And when we set down for those goals, we wanted to be 10 games better in the win column and the loss column to turn that record around there. We had some game goals. Anybody remember our game goals? What was our team goal? No mental mistakes. You can't say no. We did. But you're going to have some. But I really think we cut those down. There were a couple times we didn't do as well. But, for the most part, I thought we did a great job. Other coaches would say, I can't believe how you guys can audible so much. We audibled a lot. In fact, we do it at the line of scrimmage the last second. I just wait to see how they lined up and say when to play. We'd all those kids together and it'd be a great game for us. So they were impressed with you, and so was I. What was our offensive goal? Score when we got inside the +20 or the red zone. We didn't do that 2 years ago. Last year. We did this year. Not every time, but we really improved that, and that made the difference. And I think that killer instinct is what led us to where we got. And then our defensive goal was supposed to be 3 and out. And I think we did that a lot of the year. It wasn't every time. The last game we played was probably, we had the ball, I think, 17 minutes out of the 48. And, you know, at that time, they didn't get a whole lot of yards, but they'd get 3 and 4 and 3, that'd be 10 to be first down. And that was tough, but for the most part, I think we were 3 and out, did a great job. Those things were the first goals, and I think we met those. We wanted to win the district championship. We did that. We wanted to go undefeated. We didn't do that, but we did set that goal of being 10 wins better than our losses. And I think that's a very, very important thing. You know how tough it is to go undefeated. It's really difficult. I had a lot of fun with the guys that played in the, I think, 74, 75 years there. And there was a team that was 11 and 0. I was down coffee one morning, and a couple of the guys, they were talking about that, and that was when we were 9 and 0. Man, you know, coach, you guys, the kids are doing a great job. I said, yeah, it is. I said, it just gets tougher and tougher all the time. The kids are ready for challenge. He said, well, you know, you got to go a long ways to beat that perfect season that our kids had. And then a couple of guys had kids playing. I said, yeah, I know. A couple of weeks later, you know, I'll go down there, and now we're 11 and 0. And they were saying, it was kind of funny. They said, you know, well, they were perfect that year. They were 13 and 0. And I thought, 13 and 0, that was in 74, and there wasn't playoffs during then. So I knew that wasn't right. I said, well, I think they were 11 0. They were perfect. I said, nope, they were 13 and 0. I came home and I got the book out. I looked it up, and it was 11 0. It's in there in the gym, too. But so I called Jim Gallup. He happened to be in that deal. And I says, I want you to tell Orville and the other, who's the other, a Piper. Those two guys, they were the ones saying that. I says, you just let them know they had a great team, but they were only 11 and 0, and we're going to be 12 and 0 on it. So anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. But the best part is I got that annual out. I got all you guys' pictures. I was going to flash them. If we beat Plainview, you would have seen high school pictures of all these guys. Because I had them ready, and I was going to put them all over town here to kind of compare. But what's neat is, it's neat to see that a lot of you guys were on that team, or you know people that were close to you at that time, and what a great thing that was. I mean, that was a great thing, and so is this. And I want you kids to ever forget this. I kept telling our coaches all year long, enjoy this. It doesn't happen all the time. I've been around some great football teams, and we've always been to the playoffs and done some great things, but this has got to be maybe the funnest team I've ever had. We had a team at Adams Central got beat in the state final, but we had lost the game early in the year. You know, we kind of had that, remember, I always called it the Pender game. It seemed like every time we played Pender, we just weren't ready to play. It wasn't true this year. Coach Conroy knows that too. You know, we had a lot of times people come up and said, you have a special group of kids. And I knew that from the beginning, but I want to thank you guys, because we wouldn't have had that team if this group wouldn't have, and I'm talking about every one of you, wouldn't have got in the weight room and did what you needed to do. If you wouldn't have went down to Fremont to that passing league, a lot of people think, passing league, we don't even pass. Well, we did pass. We set a lot of school records. We'll talk about those in a second. But defensively, I think, made us a better ball club. We were able to line up to know what they're going to do and do some great things. And man, what an exciting time. To me, this is the funnest I've ever had coaching. And I appreciate that. It's because we had a hard-working group of kids. You know, I want to say just a couple things here that I don't know, I just kind of got to thinking about our team, and I thought, you know, there's what does this really mean to the rest of the school, to the rest of the community? I don't want you to think that I'm thinking that football is more important than anything I do with business. I'll tell you what, I hate to see what school's like without having activities in school. I mean, I'm afraid I would see these guys a lot, and they'd be giving their parents every excuse not to be here. But a wise man once said that an athlete only makes you too vulgar of a person, but a scholar only makes you too effeminate. And I think that's what we try to tell our kids is you have to be a good student and you got to be a good athlete. And when I say athlete, that doesn't mean your God-given ability. It means how hard are you willing to work. And that's what this group did. That's why you got where you got. It wasn't luck. but it was meant to be because you put the time in, you remember that. We had a deal 2 weeks ago. It was American Education Week, and that would be International Education Week. And the kids wrote some things about why they were proud of their schools. And I tried to go down and read every one of them. And I haven't got to them, but I'm going to save them because I'm going to read the rest of them. But one of them just stuck out. 8th grade boy saying the good thing about our school is that we have good kids. We have great athletics. Our football team went 11-1 and going on and on. He says those kids did some great things. He said it inspired me to do something with my life. That's an 8th grade kid saying that. Now, I won't tell you who the kid is, but I guarantee you he can use some inspiration. He needs it. And you know what? We get him here in football, we get him in sports, we get him in athletics, those type of things. We're going to make him get an education too. But that's the nice thing about your kids, is you're all good students too. So we are going to be continuing to push you to do that, and I want you to know you did inspire somebody, if not inspired me. Man. Oh, class every year, it looks like chicken scratch. All those papers, it was neat to read them. And the kids said, we have good students, we have good athletics, we have good academics. That's why I like being a Scribner-Snyder. When I came here 6 years ago, I'm surprised. My wife is a big city girl, and she grew up on the farm. She saw those city lights, and she's like, Omaha, New York. She's like, this is just a big deal. I'm still here because I'm great people, great kids. I appreciate what you did for yourselves, your teammates, for making them appreciate it. Okay, I better quit here. Next year, we're going to have a good football team somehow. Last year, we graduated some good seniors there, and somehow we brought together to do that. And I expect the same thing. You kids are underclassmen. If you're not willing to work, you're not going to get to where you were now. Last year, getting beat by Elmwood Murdoch is enough to tell us that we were going to work because we didn't want that to happen again. We said we want to go further than any other Scribner-Snyder team had ever gone to the playoffs. We did that. Well, I would like to go a little further than that. I'd like to get to Lincoln. Not for me, for you. And if you want to do that, you need to follow the example of these guys, because they had a good example. They did everything that was necessary. And the best part is, like I said, state practice is going to be early, it's going to be late, we're going to change it, we're going to do this, and this group of kids did that. I was notorious for the night before game just throwing something out real quick, not even planning it, say, here, run this. We hadn't run it before, but it was a mixture of things that we've done. We were able to do it. They did that. I can remember one time I took a kid, threw him in there, told him he had to play white out, said, here we go, we're running this. Well, just get in there. That's the way games are. That's the way your life is. People throw curves at you all the time. You got to learn to adapt. And you guys did a great job of that. Take that with you. When you get out here, you get to college, you get out of the job, you make sure you look back and you remember. You know, they always said, remember the Titans? Well, you remember the Trojans. You had a great group. This will stay with you for a long, long time. I will have DVDs for you once I get my software figured out. I was telling somebody I first started burning DVDs or downloading all this stuff off tape, and I put it in there. Then all of a sudden, my software said they had an update. So I went and got the update. Now nothing works until I pay $9.95 and possibly another $50 or something. So anyway, I'm working on that, but we'll have games on DVD. I'll charge you what it costs me for the DVD to do that. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you, parents, for the people that serve food. These guys, every night or every week before the game, they always serve them, did a lot of things for them. They never appreciate it near as much as they should. But when it's not there, they know it, but they do tell me things. They probably don't tell you enough, but we did appreciate that. So, thank you. Play practice. They're going to play practice, sorry.
No, we want to speakers.